Hey, Bob here with your insomnia relief, right? Having trouble sleeping? Right here. Keep this video on. Now, hopefully I'll add some value here. Here's our weekly recap of some ideas that came out of our discussion selling into intros into suites. And I thought I'd just quickly review these. It might trigger some ideas. And most importantly is what you put into play, right? These things aren't new, earth shattering. Sometimes we just need a reminder. We need to learn that same thing over and over again. I love how Janice just is so true to the SR3 model because it's so effective, and it really brings us and our salon owners, stylists, suite owners back to the basics. And if you're not executing on these, then it's hard to even go above and beyond. So, when you're going in there with a new suite owner, someone who's setting up, is start it with, SR3, looking into those areas and diving in with some questions. And if that's maybe too much to bite off, you might just start by asking, what is their why? Why did you go this route? Why are you excited about it? Those types of things, because whatever motivated them to move from their current situation, which might be, hey, the salon they worked in closed or whatever, but it's important to understand why they're motivated to, engage in their own suite and not maybe go in another direction. So SR3, good reminder. Thank you, Janice. I believe in a good agenda to demystify these meetings and also help the person you're meeting with get prepared for them so they're ready with some even better ideas. I have another slide here I'll show you with an example agenda. You can certainly copy it and then make any edits to it. But I think if you complement your confirmation with an email or a text to them with an agenda of what you plan on talking about, or at least letting them know there's a little bit of structure to this. And of course, you want to be authentic and remain, relevant and stuff like that. Don't over complicate things. But I believe sending a brief agenda with a couple of talking points is really, really helpful. Someone else said, just treat them like a salon. They're really no different. It's just happens to be one person, one chair. But all the rules and processes really apply to their business. There might be some nuances, but treat them like a salon. What pops in my head now, too, is how Don talks about, how do you have your bank account set up? Because that might be something you can help them start off on the right foot, because if they're co-mingling both service and retail funds, sometimes they don't see the benefit, and the deal there. So what are some quick ideas you can give them to get started off on the right track if they're a new suite owner? Take pictures from other suites if they can see it, that it actually can happen and has happened. Johnny, I think you shared this one. Show them when they see it, they're like, oh, I never thought of it that way. Wow, that would look really great in my suite, right? So use some pictures. Next is plan to sell non-core product. So if you're selling an intro and you're sticking to what the manufacturer has asked us to do, then just put together a strategy to get that product out the door, or at least put that amount of product that they don't see as core into context. If they're getting two pucks, right, with Davines, what is the real cost there, right? Why stress over that? Give one to your husband, give one to one of your best clients for their husband. It's not that much money, and you need to sometimes have them step back and look at the bigger picture. Like, you're getting everything you want. Yeah, there's a few things here, but let's figure out how we can get over these and move on. And Kara, you brought up something I think is really a good kind of one we might not always think about. Quell buyer's remorse. I just wanted to put it in here because I wanted to use the word quell. I don't get to use that word much, and I'm like, man, it's so awesome I get to use it today. So quell buyer's remorse. When people make a purchase like this, and if they're opening up a new suite and business, sometimes they can have that buyer's remorse. It's real. So to combat that, just reach out like after the purchase, remind them what a good choice it was and how, what's going to be happening. So continue to communicate. So if for some reason a little bit of like anxiety of I'm not sure I should have done that, or someone comes in and sells them something else, or they get a bill in the mail, they know it's important to stick with this purchase, that this purchase is going to turn into cash with them. So these are the high level kind of reminders. Hopefully it triggers other ones. You've been calling on these suites for a long time. It's just about getting in there and making some headway. The one other thing I do want to mention, and Colin, you brought this up, with COVID and everything, with getting into suites can be difficult. So another thing to keep in mind is start with trying to get in touch with one person in there. And if you can get in with one, that allows you to have access to all the others. And I know there's some nuances to that. And if you have a gatekeeper who, acts like a police officer, it might be even more difficult. But get in with one, and also get prepared. Chances are, as Colin says, he kind of gets ready for battle in here because he kind of knows he's going to maybe get yelled at or dressed down by an aggressive, gatekeeper or things like that. It's just going to be part of the territory. Everyone, is on edge right now. So cut him some slack and don't worry about it. Look at Colin has continued to do this. He is alive. There has not been a fatality from him trying this. So you are safe. Okay. So next, I do want to go into the agenda just as an example to give you some ideas there. So here's the agenda. I'm going to move my video quickly here, and I'll move it off to the side. You don't need to see me with this anyway. So you might recall from some of our trainings years past, right? But going and putting an agenda out there really can be a great way to gain more commitment and more engagement during your meetings. The way I think of an agenda is point. P stands for purpose. What's the purpose of this? And it's got to be stylist centric or salon centric, something they would want. Your purpose can't be, hey, the purpose of my meeting today is trying to see how much stuff I can sell you because I'm trying to maximize my commission here this month. They don't care about you. So even though that's ridiculous, sometimes we'll make the purpose of our meeting me-centric, about me selling this product, that product. Make it them-centric. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Tuesday at 10 and talking about how we help you generate some cash in the next 30 days. I don't know if that's the right one, but if I'm a stylist, I'm like, yeah, I want to meet with somebody who's going to help me make more cash in 30 days, right? Now, you'll notice this is 10 a.m. This person's not meeting with Johnny. Johnny's appointments are going to be 2 o'clock. You too, probably, Gigi. I know you meet after 2. But I digressed. So purpose. Susan, hey, I was looking forward to seeing you on Tuesday at 10 and talking about a few, how we can generate some more cash in the next 30 days. You make that authentic. And then just a transition, hey, below are some talking points we can use to guide our conversation. And use the ones here that make sense. I've been really fond of this question lately. What do I need to know about your business? Or what do I need to know just in general? And this kind of sets them to like, okay, yeah, that's a good question. Help me understand where you are right now. Because in order for us to move forward, we have to start from somewhere and we need to know where you are. And then just to keep it kind of manageable, you could say, oh, where do I see you where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Way too much, right? But they might be able to look 2 to 4 weeks ahead. Hey, what does the next 2 to 4 weeks look like for you? Hey, what's your strategy in those 2 to 4 weeks to generate income? And I think this helps make the conversation more tactical and more digestible, especially for some stylists who might just be coming out of this funk of COVID, etc. And then this other one, rather than telling them how you'll help them, ask them, how do you see me helping you? It's a little bit different twist, but that way they'll give you some clues on where they're looking for help, where they may be struggling, etc. So, and then lastly, I always add in, hey, anything else? What else do we need to add to this list? Not do you have anything else, but anything else, or, try to encourage them to add something else to this list. So that's the agenda. That combined with some tips for working in suites. Hopefully you find it useful, and look forward to hearing what progress you've made this week with that.